Hi, I'm so glad to be grading your handout for the upcoming TED Talk presentation. Thanks for taking the time to complete the assignment as stated in the directions. I'm sorry if things were a bit confusing, and I'm so glad we had a chance to work it out. Thought I'd make this video to give you some feedback to help you kind of take your preparation notes to the next level for the speech that you'll be giving at the end of the month to an audience of your choosing. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see on the screen here, your introduction is up and it has all three of the elements of a good speech introduction. You have an attention getter, a purpose statement, and a preview of your three main ideas. Your attention getter, I think, is really creative and very engaging. You have a quote, and you mentioned that it's one of your favorites. I'm curious because you don't mention who says it. So is there a specific author, or is this quote from a particular book or article? If when was it published? If you have that information, go ahead and be sure to share it here, just like how you did when citing the other research in your presentation. If it's anonymous, if someone, we don't know who says it, then you might mention that here too. Your purpose statement is very clear. I think it'll help your audience to know what the talk will be about. And your preview of your main ideas, they refer to all three of your main ideas. And I think it's super helpful to include this preview in your speech because not only will it help you to sound more polished as a speaker, but it will help you to also let your audience know what they're going to need to listen to or listen for as you continue your talk. So great job. I know preparing a speech is a lot different than writing a paper. When you're writing a paper, you don't have to be so direct or so repetitive. When you're writing a speech, it's incredibly important to be repetitive and really, really well organized, because otherwise you'll lose your audience attention and they won't really know what to listen for. So previewing your main ideas in the intro, letting them know what you're going to say, then saying it, and then at the end, summarizing your main ideas will definitely help your audience to not only be clear on the purpose of your speech, why they should listen, but what they're listening for, and then also help them to remember your main idea. So that's why we're so repetitive when we prepare a speech. Your body is, the body of your presentation is really coming together. You have included research from very credible sources like Chapman University. In this information here, you mentioned a study from Chapman University. Give us a little bit more details. Let us know when the study was conducted, maybe the names of the researchers, even share the name of the study with us. This way, there's more information and your audience can decide if they're curious, they can go and look up that information for themselves and see what study it is that you're referring to. Including those details when you're mentioning your sources is important because your audience isn't going to have this handout to refer to. Usually speakers kind of keep this behind the scenes. So the best way to communicate to your audience that you've done your research and that your research is credible and that you're not fake news is to share your sources with them and have your sources be outstanding sources. And so that's why we do our oral citations, why we put our in-text citations into our speech preparation outlines. So to cite sources so you're not plagiarizing, to establish your credibility as a speaker, and then also to show your audience how your ideas connect and build to the ideas of other communication scholars. And you have these great in-text citations. So outstanding. I'm so proud of you. You did such a great job. I think your main ideas, you're starting to really elaborate. You have a variety of supporting material. You might want to share maybe some personal stories or some short examples, just in case it turns out you need a little bit more preparation. Your speech should be 5 to 7 minutes long. So if you probably want to practice giving your speech before you actually give it to your audience. And a technique that I recommend is to use your phone to videotape yourself speaking. That way you can see how your gestures are. What are you doing with your hands? If you're speaking too fast or just the right pace, or how your eye contact is with your audience. You can get that feedback. And then you can also see how long your presentation is. And that way, if it's a little too short, or even if it's too long, you'll know that you either need to add some supporting material or take some away. So moving on to your third main idea, this is great. I'm not quite sure what PCW here stands for. And again, this citation here is a little bit vague. So when you're making your revisions to this preparation notes, and because you'll submit your revised preparation notes as part of your presentation here at the end of the month, you're going to want to include some additional specific details. So include the title of the study, who conducted it, the authors, the researchers' names, and then the date in which the study was conducted. All right, and great supporting materials. Again, you do include a lot of facts, so definitely maybe consider adding a variety, bring in some personal stories or jokes, maybe if that fits your personality, but really kind of add yourself and your style into the speech. And that'll help it to keep the audience engaged as you're teaching them these really important communication skills and concepts. And moving, last but not least, we got your conclusion, and you refer specifically back to your three main ideas. I think the repetitiveness is nice. It'll help your audience to remember what the three main ideas of your speech were. Your purpose statement is clear. It's really kind of more of a paragraph, but for the speech, I think that's okay. And then your ending here, it kind of ties back to your preview of or ties back to your main ideas, but I think as you're reviewing these notes and really improving them or continuing to improve on them for your for that TED Talk later this month, I would take your clincher to the next level. Maybe share a joke, a research statistic, maybe even ask your audience some questions or get them engaged. But let's see if you can end on a little bit more of a creative note. And that'll help your presentation to stand out. And because I know you're a good speaker, I can tell you're very confident from the assignments that you've turned in earlier this semester. So taking it to the next level, growing, is going to involve stretching and maybe trying something that is a little bit uncomfortable, but I think overall, you'll be very pleased with the results. Great research, great references. You have them written in APA format, so that's awesome. Congratulations on being on your way to preparing a wonderful speech. I'm excited to see your speech, and I hope that the audience that you choose to give your speech to is also excited, because you've really put a lot of time and energy into creating a wonderful speech. When you do your presentation, you're going to need to include 2 presentation aids. Usually speakers include a PowerPoint and a handout, or Prezi and a handout, some sort of slideshow and a handout. You're welcome to do that if you'd like. I'm not sure about the environment that you're going to be giving your speech and who you're going to be presenting to. So for this speech, you're going to want to find 3 people to be in the room with you and actually hear your presentation as you present. And so keep those people in mind and think about what presentation aids will help you to enhance your message to those specific people in that particular environment. So a PowerPoint handout would work, a PowerPoint and a handout would work, or you could include a poster or a prop or even a short video clip. So for this assignment, you do need to speak for at least 5 minutes, but you can include maybe a 30-second, 45-second video clip if that is a presentation aid that you think would help enhance the experience for your audience. So I look forward to seeing what you decide. I think you're on your way to creating a great speech, and you've been such a great student all semester. I really appreciate the additional hard work that you've put into this class, and I value your contributions. If you have any questions, please just send me them through the Canvas inbox. I'm here to help as needed.